All right, here we go. For real this time. We will make the clink sound with our mouths. Ready? Clink.
Unicorns, I love them. Unicorns, I love them. Unicorns.
Very good. I'm in the middle. In the middle.
Unicorns.
In the middle.
Oh, the girl in oh my guy.
Rub their eyes.
Girl in oh my guy.
I'm in the middle. In the middle.
Unicorns.
In the middle.
Unicorns.
Time for cake. Time to deliver the cookies.
So I bought one.
Time
Now you best prefer.
when the dance. Time to deliver the cookies. Kick back.
We got his mom's.
Time.
Does it?
Hit up. There we go. Are you got it big full? Oh, you got it big fully.
Unrecorded message.
Are you got it big full?
Click.
Oh, you got it big fully.
Unrecorded.
No, it big full.
Like sleeping. Both what the?
Oh, you got it big fully.
Like sleeping.
Come on. No, got it big full.
Like sleeping. Annoying.
Oh, you got it big fully. Fully.
I love you.
Yeah, I love you too. Pause for effect.
Unicorns, I love them. Unicorns, I love them. Unicorns, I love them. Yeah.
Very good. I'm in the middle.
Unicorns, I love them.
In the middle. In the middle.
Unicorns, unicorns.
Okay.
The girl in oh my guy.
Can't you see up their eyes?
The girl in oh my guy.
Can't you see up their eyes?
Does this count as annoying?
Time to deliver the cookies.
So I bought one.
Time
Now you best prefer.
when the dance. Time to deliver the cookies. Kick back.
We got his mom's.
Time.
Does it?
Hit up. There we go. Keep clinking. Are you got it big full? Oh, you got it big fully.
Unrecorded message.
Are you got it big full?
Click.
Oh, you got it big fully.
Unrecorded.
No, it big full.
Like sleeping. Both what the?
Oh, you got it big fully.
Like sleeping.
Come on. No, got it big full.
Like sleeping. Annoying.
Oh, you got it big fully. Wow, that was something else.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another DaraChat. That's right, Pogo always bringing in the goods, even though, unfortunately, he doesn't create very much of anything anymore. He still is one of my favorite artists, so glad to see that I can still use some of his stuff. But anyway, beyond that point, hello everyone, and welcome back to another DaraChat. I know, another week filled of wonderful people with a good time for conversation. So, my guest will be here shortly, but you get me for a little bit. That's right, me, M-E. That's short for me. That's short for me. I had to have fun with that one. But yes, I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Like I said, I worked at a bit because I'm getting overtime as it speaks, and that's helpful. That's helpful, especially with tax season coming up. That's right, kids. I hope you are all ready to pay for your taxes. That's right, whether you're a content creator or someone who's just bumming a 20 off a friend. Well, actually, you know what? Don't bum a 20 off a friend because the IRS might count that as a tax gift. But you. Can you imagine an IRS person coming up to you saying, "Hey, so you remember that 20 you gave to your friend? Uh, what, what about it? Yeah, we'll have to charge you $5 from that. Wait, what? Wait, why? What? It was to a friend. What? There wasn't any. Yeah, it was a gift. You can't do that to your friend. Otherwise, we end up charging you. What? That doesn't make any sense. Why is it happening? It's true story. True story. No, not for me though. Um, yeah, that'd be weird if it was a true story from my end, because then that'd be a whole nother ball of wax. Let's see. Just making sure. But yeah, no, it is tax season. Obviously, of course, the end date is April 15th. I say this because some people are not are still waiting for their tax stuff, especially if some jobs they have to have it out by the 30th, 31st, the end of January. And then there's some other places where you have to wait a bit longer. So I've got all my stuff, sort of. But there are some people out there still waiting on things. So make sure you do not keep waiting. When you have your stuff, and make sure you count for all your stuff. Like, let's see, if you do stock stuff, make sure that whatever app or business you're doing it through, they get you something. Um, let's see. Content creators, if you're a content creator, usually if you have it going through PayPal might give you some, or you just keep all the receipts of when you got paid. I had to take a whole picture of my payment transgression on Rumble for what I did for 2025, and I was surprised because I did not notice I had made that much, and it was more of an anomaly because I was in the creator program. Now I am still in the creator program, but it's more of like I'm in limbo. Like I'm doing the small stuff to stay inside, but I'm not making the monies. I'm not getting the moolah. I'm not getting the dinero. I'm not getting the oh, what's another one? The invisible gold coin, something like that. I don't know. At a certain point, um, it was a bit much, but I know I'm learning. I'm learning as I go. This overtime is helping with putting money aside for helping pay taxes because it could be a lot this year. I don't know. I don't know. But luckily, with having a full time job and all that stuff, I really don't have to because I things came up. All right, things came up that couldn't be avoided and all that stuff, and so I didn't set as much as I should have aside. And that's what you should always do for your taxes. Always set money aside. I know somebody's like, "Well, I shouldn't have to do that." Blah 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 blah. What about all these tax things? Never trust what your government tells you, except when it tells you about a tornado coming away. Then you may want to trust them because there could be a tornado coming your way. So always, make sure you watch the weather stuff. Um, let's see. Oh, there we go. But where we at? What was I at? But oh yeah, but yeah, for taxes, uh, do do make sure you get your stuff in order because stuff may surprise you that you weren't expecting. But you have still have plenty of time. That's why I tell you now because you have plenty of time. If it becomes April the 1st, you have 2 weeks. And yeah. Hey, Mano. No sound, just lurking while I stream. Well, thank you, Mano. Thank you for being here. I don't know why that's not the case. I am right there. There we go. There, I like my color is red, so I had to make sure it's red. I have the branding or whatever it is. I don't know what it is. But I had to remember to set my branding to red because it wasn't set to red. So um and red is my favorite color. Not blood red though. That's a little different. But regardless, it is certainly going to be a great year, regardless of the small stuff that happens. Because small stuff happens, big stuff happens, and there are always going to be surprises along the way. But that's life, right? Um, yeah. Because I don't know what's going on. Sorry, I have to keep in the contact with my person of interest, my POI. Person of interest. What is? Well, there's point of interest. There's another POI there right there too. Um, person of interest, place of interest. I know what ROI stands for. Return on investment, but that's really not. That's more something else. But yes. So, I'm grateful I have someone who does my taxes, but it's still not a fun time. It's still not a fun time. We have to, you get your things and you're like, okay, how much do I owe this year? And then you realize that you owe a lot, and you're like, it's not pretty, man. It's not pretty. And that's one of the things that scared me. Well, not scared me too much, but sort of was off-putting about being a content creator is because you are under a I guess they consider it self-employment, although I do work a full-time job, so it's more like just a hobby side than anything else. But it's one of those things where, like, as a content creator, you you don't know um you don't know how this stuff goes, and um I really don't think people get told or talked about a lot of the stuff because they get in. It's like, oh, look, I can earn this money. Stuff. It's like, no, that stuff gets taxed. That stuff gets taxed. And usually, if it's a small amount, like if you made a small amount to your, like, maybe less than a few hundred, you're fine. But they'll still want to count that to some degree because the government wants your money. And the state, well, I guess the state and federal are the same thing, sort of. But regardless, but yeah, I just feel like people need a reminder of, like, it's January's already gone, guys. Let's not kid ourselves on forgetting about that stuff and all that. But mm, mm, mm. but oh, what was it today? Well, it's got warm outside, at least where I'm at, cuz good Lord knows I'm tired of the below zero. I'm tired of the below zero weather. And while there are places where it's much, much worse than where I live, and believe me, look, there are places probably more north where it's so bad that it's so cold. Oh, I don't know why that was. I don't know why. I don't know why they had to do that. Um, but it gets so cold that the frames around the doors freeze with ice. And I'm not talking like frost. I'm talking like, you can unmute yourself now if you want. It's okay. Hello, good sir. How are you?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Oh my gosh, you sound like.
I do a really good RFK impression.
Yeah, hey, there you go. There you go. No, I just thought you sound like you were very far away, like we were getting an echo, or not an echo, but it was like we're in a cave.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to get my camera to work in this
Yeah.
rumble for some reason.
If you can, what you can do is you can try to set it to the camera you want, and then refresh the page and see if that will work.
I can't even get it to give me those settings. Wait, here we are.
We'll solve this together. Oh, there we go. We will solve this. There we go. Look at him. Right there. Wow.
Now we're working.
Hey, look at that. Wow, he has a face. Wow. He has a face. Lord, look at him.
My sincerest apologies, because I'm like, I'm going to get in there in time, and
Yeah, you're right.
And it's like, you haven't given authorization to the camera. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Some of it's just the weird, the weird tech stuff, right? It's like, can I just do this thing now, please? Can I click go and it will go?
Right.
You have to go through steps. But anyway, thank you, sir, for coming on. You're looking wonderful today. Well, I probably shouldn't say wonderful. I don't know if I should. Maybe I should say maybe handsome, but then that might be.
Well, I guess whatever adjective is appropriate is fine.
Lord knows I'm going to try to go through a dictionary of it. It's like, okay, absolutely wonderful. I don't know if that's going to work. We're going to decide that one. But anyway, how are you today, good sir?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me on, and nice to meet you formally.
Nice to meet you.
You putting a face to people that you just see as a little profile pic on X is it's always an adventure.
Well, I mean, and I should mention this, that not everyone shows their face, and that's fine too. Like, that's just up to them. I always tell them, like, if you have a camera, not a camera, I'm sorry, a mic, so people can hear you, that would be great, because people just want to be able to hear you rather than just like
Right.
see you. And it's nothing against seeing individuals. It's more of just like, um, it's more of a personal thing of people wanting to show their face because all that stuff out there.
Yeah.
VTubers,
I decided a long time ago I was going to be a public person, so
yeah.
whatever.
Well, and you're making a comic too. I mean, the Dinosaur Man. God, goodness sake.
It has several books actually.
Oh, really? What more than the dinosaur one do you have?
Well, right now on Ripascend we've got Daughter's Revenge, which is a
Okay.
140-page pirate graphic novel
Ooh, nice.
written by my good friends X-Wing Hanger and Drunk 3PO, Geeks
Nice.
and Gamers fame, and it's a grand adventure. It took me all of last year to make it.
Wow. Is that the usual case for like making a comic? It takes you like a whole year or so?
I mean, for something that big, yeah,
Oh.
definitely. I mean, you try to shoot for a page a day,
Mm.
and that's on a good day. I mean, some people can't even get a page a month, but it's 140 pages, and I started, I think, in late February.
Mm-hmm.
It wrapped up in early December, so I think it did pretty good.
Nice. Yeah, you're done, so that
Yeah.
shows you did pretty good. But that's got to be like, because I know, um, for like I don't know how you started, but I know some people they start with like a script and then do like the whole graphic, or they start with the graphic and they try to. I don't know how you do that.
Well, for me personally, when I'm doing my own stuff, I see it in my head,
Yeah.
and I kind of figure out the dialogue later.
Uh-huh.
But working with the guys, I mean, they put the script down. X-Wing wrote it, and they both contributed on the story. I actually contributed on the story too because there was a few extra pages, and we needed to have some. I thought there was a couple of scenes that would be appropriate to add in, and we added them in. And
Nice.
you always hope to have that nice, smooth workflow when you're working with other people. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, in the creative industry, there's a lot of divas, and so I've been through a lot of times where projects are just falling apart.
Right.
Because people have egos or whatnot, and thankfully, I haven't found that working with Jay and Russ and
Yeah.
all the gang there.
That's that's funny when you say that because not just in like comics, but in the general of creation itself, whether it be like artwork or whatnot. It does seem a lot of like, and there's sometimes good reason too, because you never know about like there are bad actors within the
Sure.
field, and they try to get attached themselves to you to some regard, and you say, "Oh, I'll do this thing for you," and then all of a sudden you find yourself in this sort of four-way thing that's just is incredibly awful, and you're just like, please Lord, just send an angel to get me out of here.
Yeah, I've been through that.
Yeah, and it's true. For because I don't do comics, but I do this thing right here because I enjoy it. I've been in situations where there was one time I was having a guest on, and they were a lovely person, and so I had them on, and we talked about different stuff. But this potential guest I was going to have on, supposedly there was something that was happening between the individual I had on and them, or a friend they had, and it became this so horrid thing. And like in the DMs, like, oh, they said things that weren't true and all this stuff. I'm like, I can't verify what they say, so how could I know what they say is or isn't true? And that's why I have that disclaimer in my description, because that was born out of that. But it was just this sort of thing where this person was trying to emotionally manipulate when all the stuff that had been said were said by the individual I had on. I'm not going to sit here and control their ability to speak, because that's why I have people on to speak. And it just turned into this thing like, well, I can't come on your show because of this person. I'm like, wow, okay. All right, I guess. Thanks. That drama. It's more than drama. It's pettiness at times. It really is pettiness at times. And I'm like, I get there's something going on here that may be some legality stuff, but this face right here with the beard and stuff and glasses has nothing to do with it other than inviting the person on. So what it's just one of those things. So I can understand a bit of the drama stuff, but it just seems to be a bit of everywhere. Ugh, it's it's tiring. It's tiring.
It's the sometimes the best way to win the game is not play.
Good Lord, it is. But for what I'm doing, it's kind of hard not to because, talking to people who are and aren't content creators, there's a whole swath of people you come across. Anxiety ridden,
Oh, yeah.
people who are creative, people who are tinkerers, people who are hobbyists, the whole kit and caboodle of the human encyclopedia is at your fingertips. And you're going to come across ones where, that stuff happens. And it's sad because I'd have liked to had the person on, but because I had this other person on, they're like, no, I can't, because they were also doing some other stuff. We were talking about doing something else, like thumbnail work and all that. Because, my thumbnail was with help. I had help, okay? But then after that whole ordeal, they're like, nope, I'm not going to do anything for you because of that person. Like,
Sometimes the trash takes itself out.
listen, all right, sometimes there are beautiful things in your way, and you're just like, wow, that'd be nice. And then all of a sudden, they just turn into garbage. You're like, wow, what was I looking at? But yeah, it's I don't. There have been other times too where it's just sort of this, like, in doing this sort of thing. I've always, when I first started this, I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. Then after that, I've still felt like an outsider to it. Like I'm just this person coming in, and it's I'm over here and I watch everyone what they do, and I'm seeing a lot of contradiction. That's a big word, kids. It starts with the letter C. It's called contradictions. I'm gonna start feeling like a episode of Sesame Street at this point. Can you say contradictions? Oh man, but I mean, your experience. Like, what has been some of your experience beyond the comic ordeal? Have you experienced more than that, or just within the comic field?
Oh, all over. I mean, I've been doing creative, independent things for a very long time. I've done local television production.
Mm,
Say I've tried a couple of times to get into video game stuff, but it's just there's a lot of time involved, and
yeah,
I'll start a project and maybe not finish it, and then move on to another one.
yeah,
Comics was always in my blood, so that's why I keep going back to that. I think it's probably the one thing I'd still do if all I had was some dirt and a stick. I'd still draw in it.
yeah.
But
Like,
no, and then well, the TV production thing that was an interesting story. There was a local horror host kind of
oh,
doing the MST3K thing, making fun of old horror movies.
oh,
He was dressed up as a werewolf and had this puppet that was a skeleton in a little suit. And one, it was a cute little shtick.
mm-hmm.
But I did commercial production for all the sponsors,
Wow.
and keep in mind this was like 6 years after 9/11.
Oh,
Did a commercial at an airport, and they were at an air. The gag was that they were at an airport and they couldn't find their gate.
right.
And there was all this stuff going on in the background. So I had Godzilla come in and throw some fire down. I had the Starship Enterprise fly in.
Nice.
Then I had a jet fire a cruise missile at the terminal. And somebody got it up in their britches that was 9/11 trauma. And they had an advertiser that was a pizza place.
Yeah.
And the dude putting on the show just threw me under the bus.
Jeez.
Called me a rogue editor, even though I sent the footage to them 3 or 4 days in advance, and him and the producer never bothered to look at anything.
Jeez.
So yeah, and I ended up losing $200 on the whole deal because I bought a special plug-in for the one camera guy's Panasonic camera so I could import footage.
Mm-hmm.
Never reimbursed me for that.
Mm.
Never got paid.
Oh.
It was just like a guerrilla film school that I went to for 6 months.
Oh my gosh. I can't. Like, I mean, that was like during the whole cancel thing, was like a few years back, that's understandable because just people just like, I get it, but at a certain point, like that thing, like we're what, 20 years out? What,
Right.
9/11? It's like 20. No, it's like 25. Yeah, we're 25 years out. That's like a quarter of a what do they call it? A century, I think it is.
Yeah, River Century.
This shows you how much I know my time stuff. Hey there, Drekken, how are you doing? Oh, look at that. Copy out or ordered.
Oh,
Can't wait
thanks
to
very
read it.
much. Appreciate that.
He said he drew it all himself. No one helped him. He is just the
I have a
DinoMan's.
really great colorist that handled all the color work. So
There you
shout
go.
out to at Big Boy Robo on X. I have to mention him every time because he took my black and white grayscale stuff and he made it look gorgeous. So
Nice. Now, did you have to like no, this has to be that color. No, that
no,
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 don't. That's
no. I
too.
gave him. I did tests just for the
Uh,
costuming and whatnot and reference material for that. And then just gave him some basic instruction. I want this to kind of look like watercolor because I'm doing ink washes. Let's make it look
yeah.
like it's old-fashioned illustrations, and he knocked it out of the park. So
That's pretty awesome. Now, are you talking like, are you talking like old Superman illustrations where it had like the little black dots in them, or?
no, we didn't go that far back, but just like older materials.
Okay.
I looked at. I was really impressed by Valiant comics in the '90s. I didn't get
Oh.
into the whole. I mean, I followed Rob Liefeld and Silvestri and McFarlane. I was fans of them, sure, but I really liked the Valiant stuff that was coming out, and that was Bob Layton and Jim Shooter, and all those pages were watercolored. They were all colored with watercolor. They weren't using the newfangled computer cut and grad Photoshop stuff that the kids were doing.
Right.
So I kind of went back to that, and I was like, I'm looking at old school, like Golden Age books for how I'm drawing this. I'm trying to do a looser style, make it look more like it's a paintbrush and not a
Hmm.
technical pen. And if you're, like a watercolor wash look would look great with this.
Nice.
It's a pretty book. It's off to the printers, and can't wait to hold it in my hands.
Nice. That's pretty awesome. I mean, um, obviously the different types of art form colors out there. There's you got the very old comic stuff, and
Mhm.
then what you're going for. Um, as long as it doesn't have like the X-ray, like here are the X-ray glasses in the back of the comic.
Get your own nuclear submarine.
Yeah, there you go. Do you want to own your own nuclear submarine, kids? Well, look in the back of the page. It's only
And damn sea monkeys.
yeah. See, I wonder if anyone still does this. Like they just put these fake advertisements back. It's like, who ever heard of the whoopee cushion? I don't know what's going on here.
When I first started out doing my own books, I was doing a series called Melby Comics.
Hmm.
It was, some characters based on old friends from high school. And I actually did that. I made up some fake ads for the back of one of the books.
Nice.
Just had some fun with it. I made up a fake pharmaceutical ad called Life Stay.
Yeah.
One pill a day so you don't die. And
Yeah.
it's pretty on the nose with modern day pharma.
Yeah. Listen, you can only write it so much before you're prophetic and like, holy crap,
Right?
I told the future. Oh my gosh. Oh man, but no, that's pretty awesome because I've only had one comic. I mean, I have comic, but I'm talking that's more the Japanese comic. But like one comic I did have was the Sonic the Hedgehog. That was a long. I don't even think I still have it anymore. It's probably long gone. Um, but I had gotten as a kid, I had to have surgery because I had flat feet, and so luckily for me, I was drugged and I was out. So I nothing. Don't remember a thing. When I woke up, the world looked like it was a spinning marble. I was like, oh man, where am I? But after that, we had gone to like it was like a local grocery store, and I remember when they used to sell the comics like right in the same arena with all the other magazines, and we got and my mom had got one from there. But yeah, it certainly is a changed time. I would think you were saying the when you were talking about the older gentleman, about the technology of drawing on the computer. Well, it seems the majority of people do that nowadays.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I got a big drawing tablet right here at arm's reach, big old 24-inch screen.
Uh,
It's a lot of fun. And then I got old paper and pencil here behind me. So
mhm.
You got to adapt, and I think that's kind
Yeah.
of the same way with those disgusting AI tools that are coming out. It's you can't fight City Hall. The technology's here to stay. So it's like,
Yeah.
how do I adapt? Is it appropriate to adapt it in my workflow,
Yeah.
make things easier?
Hmm.
It's really great at proofreading. So it's like you get a script. It's like, hey, make sure all the grammar's right.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at that. So
Yeah. Hey, you're speaking to the choir, okay? Sometimes I don't even know how to say it well, but thank goodness for the internet. Otherwise, that dictionary would have been long gone.
yeah,
But no, that's been an interesting thing, especially because if you're on Grok, obviously people have used Grok Imagine for just about anything at this point. What 10 second? I think it's up to 10-second videos now, and then
hmm
imagery and all that sort of stuff. So it is sort of a thing where that kind of stuff encroaches on what has been for say your type of stuff or art or just like drawing regular or whatever. And that's been the interesting thing for me is like um I've heard the discussion of both sides. Like I've seen the one side of the other is like, oh, I'll do this or oh that, and it's been sort of a understandability, right? Because you draw by hand as you said, and you do Wacom as well, or whatever the tablet you use. Um, but because of that technology that's come out and it's staying, and people are using up the wazoo again, Grok is a great example. It does become a question of, as an artist, because you are an artist, how how do I word this? How do you see the future from you? Yeah, fine. So, Grok, I need help with my grammar, please. I mean, but right now, you see what it can do. You see that it still makes mistakes and all this stuff. But like for right now, and on to the future, like what do you see the component? You know, is it doing more? Is it staying off the side? Like for
I
you,
think
what has been?
I think we're gonna kind of. It's a double-edged sword because
Mm,
obviously you have all the big studios. They're in high adoption now.
right.
They're looking at shaving their workforces. It's
Yeah.
happening like crazy. AAA game studios are going under. My buddy Neon at Clownfish called that one a mile out,
Mm,
and so there's going to be an adjustment period, and you're going to have the creatives that want to keep doing this on their own, starting their own projects.
mm-hmm.
And I think what it's going to come down to is there's just going to be so much I hate using the word content
Yeah.
because that's anything can be content as long as it's taking up time.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just schlock. That's the
Yeah.
slop. But as far as the actual artistic style, the artistic side of it, the storytelling side of it, I think the better projects that tell better stories are going to shine.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're kind of already starting to see it now, where people are kind of over it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's AI, whatever.
Yeah.
I saw this, doing when digital started.
Yeah.
Um, People were like, "Oh, did you just Photoshop that, or you
Yeah.
just did it on the computer, right?"
Mm-hmm.
People have been saying that for a long time.
Oh yeah.
So you kind of get to that point where now the normies are kind of over AI. They're not even going to notice it anymore.
Yeah.
They're either assume it, and then once you say, "No, actually, this is all hand drawn," I'm working on some sketch cards and some original pieces with marker and watercolor to have for MegaCon this
Oh
next
nice.
one. Just to have more of that. This is unique. This is special.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be a lot more recognized, and hopefully we'll see people appreciate it enough to want to spend their money on higher end things that are not made by machines. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just going to be a matter of survival for the mainstream because the studios are going to trim down as few people as possible, ramp up the amount of content,
Mm-hmm.
and just survive somehow and just tell the best story you can and find
Mm-hmm.
your audience. That's all any of us can do.
Yeah, it almost does seem like the saying of "stick is throw as much as you can against the wall and see what sticks," because of just that scenario. And again, like you said, anything, pretty much anything can be content. I mean, you have a phone in your hand. You
Yeah,
basically have a content creation machine right there. Okay,
whole film studio and
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, obviously, like I remember, it wasn't too long ago when it was just the regular. You'd have the regular film, then you have like the IMAX film, and then you have digital. Well, nowadays you can go use an iPhone, and I remember I was remember seeing commercials where they were showing them filming with an actual iPhone, which I thought was kind of silly because, like, you have you're trying to do this like the person falling down with your iPhone. It's like, yeah, but if the phone goes down with that too, I don't know about that. Um, but it is sort of the thing where even stuff like that, or I don't know if Pixel's being used, but like you have phones now which are being used as a camera, and so now you're having this shift of from having to have these huge hunky things that you have to have on your shoulder and you have to work out and do all that stuff to hold it. Now you just have it right here, and it's
yeah.
pretty much as close as possible. Um, which I mean, for many that's a great idea, but you can already see what happens when you let it oversaturate.
Yep, absolutely. A couple of ways that I've been using AI lately is that number one with Grok, I've been experimenting using it as an in-betweener.
Yeah,
So I still have an interest in doing video games, and I want to have nice fluid animations for the characters walking around or
yeah,
jumping, doing all those things. But I don't have the time to sit there and draw all these frames in between. So why not let Grok do that for me? So
hmm
I'll give it frame one, I'll give it the next keyframe, let
hmm
it handle what's in the middle, and it's gotten really good at doing that.
yeah,
Another one where a friend of mine, we did a cartoon strip for a number of years
hmm
called Frank and Jerry. It was about a Frankenstein monster and an alien that abducted him as roommates.
right.
And what we're doing right now is we're trying to make that look like a '90s sitcom, and with Hicksfield, and the stills look beautiful from like Hicksfield brings a bunch of tools together.
Right.
Grok's even accessible in there,
hmm
and so the Nano Banana is making really great images.
Oh yeah, yeah,
They're
for sure.
well lit. It looks like it's really good CGI.
hmm
So I'm able to do these frames, and then what he's doing is he's setting up because he's the voice of all both the characters.
Okay.
So he's setting up a camera at home and recording the same framed shot
Yeah.
and recording the voices. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use that as reference to map the digital images onto in the cinema studio.
Right.
We should be able to get synced up voices with the characters and be able to produce like a 20-minute episode. So
Yeah, and like you were saying, also, it's like because there are people who say like film who want to create something, but it's just so expensive, and you
yeah,
have to go through the process of the studios, right? The studios, all the people it takes to do all this stuff, which nothing against them, they're there to do a job, right?
yeah,
But with the advent of that said technology, it's going to be allow someone to cut those old corners that were sort of a cornerstone with what used to be. And I think that's the my viewpoint is that while it is understandable, while people see as AI as a bit of a disaster, which it can be depending on who uses it,
yeah,
right? Would it be a company or country? It doesn't matter which one. Both have the innate ability to change something and use it for a devious end, because tools can have that ability, but that's on the person rather than the
yep,
tools. And so my thing has always been like, you're gonna have this where you're gonna have people use it for bad terms. You have some people who use it for good stuff, like what you're trying to do, or trying to make stuff more efficient so that they can get done quickly. Because, like, in a way, right? In a way, animation, hand drawn animation, right, takes a long time.
yeah. It's very expensive too. It's
Yeah,
at least $1,000 per second.
yeah, and that's crazy. Even today's standards, you have digital, which probably takes just as long, but it's not as in the same cell frame that would have regular animation in. And so with this advent, like you were with Higgs field, and then of course Grok and whatever, you're having this cut down even further because all they're doing is they're taking key points that you're giving them. You say, just make something of the in between. And obviously, it's not going to be the first time, right? It's not going to be the first time you run through it and it's going to work. You're going to have to run it through a few more other times, but you run it through and it could get you there. It's just one of those things that it takes two. So, but yeah, I see it as that way. It's just dependent on the person who uses it. I'm more of looking towards a symbiosis rather than either a Skynet or the utopia, because it's just either extreme is just not going to be, just doesn't work. If it does, we're all in trouble.
Yeah.
If we get your utopia is not going to be your utopia because we as humans can't work very well in utopia, and if it's Skynet, well, I guess someone was right when they said I told you so.
No fate but what we make.
Yeah, shut up, Todd. I know you said that. Come on. But yeah, I don't see it as demonic as many would put it, or I don't see it as a devastation. I see it as it's just an extension of what we've always had. It's just a little more quicker at doing it, right? I mean, going back to like the digital Photoshop and then the digital tablet, whatever. Like you beforehand, you were just doing like all on paper and pencil, right?
Mhm.
And then you come with the computer, right? I think it was Toy Story that had, like, I think they called it CAD or something. That was or Pixar. Sorry, Pixar made Toy Story, which used CAD, and that's 3D modulation. That was like like mid '90s on that point, and that's crazy to think about.
They pioneered that as a studio.
Yeah.
3D animation. I was in college back then, and then we had a couple of the same workstations, like the big SGI Unix stations. These were like $50,000 computers back then. It was insane.
That's crazy. Yeah.
And the designers and stuff would use them to do CAD models of automotive and other things. So it was an interesting time. And now looking back on it, it was all middleware.
Yeah.
We thought it was the top of the line, but it was just kind of the beginning of things.
Yeah. And it's funny how that works because it was technically something new and lots of expensiveness right there. Don't get me wrong. It was expensive as heck. I can remember there was I can't remember if it was like at my a library, and they had like a little museum area where they were showing like the computers when they first started out to now. Do you know megabytes were costing hundreds of dollars?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And computers didn't even have that much megabytes. Like megabytes was crazy. Like I think gigabyte didn't come until like 2000s maybe. I'm not even sure.
Yeah, because like I mean I'm an old school gamer. Like I've got a Neo Geo system.
Oh yeah.
And when that came out in '94, the games were $250 a piece.
Wow.
Because it was two circuit boards. They would have like 15, 25, 30 gigs of RAM in the cartridge. So your minimum, and bet you like it was like $800 for the system back then, $250 for a game cartridge back then. I mean, they're insane now. Like I've got all the quote affordable games, but like Metal Slug, popular shooter from the system. An original copy of that is at least $5,000. Like, no, sorry.
I like my childhood dream, but not that much.
Yeah, I bought it because I was making my own money, and this was something I always wanted as a kid.
Yeah.
But you got to have a limit, you got to.
Yeah. Oh,
of course, I'm surrounded by coping mechanisms behind me. So.
Yeah, I was like, man, he is a great GI Joe. You got some GI Joe. You got all that stuff back there. It's a collector's dream, basically. But yeah, I there was a restaurant I was at where they did have the Metal Slug, because Neo Geo and all that stuff, and it was kind of nice to play that. But yeah, it is crazy insane of how like those gaming arcade cabinets, right, that you can buy and just put them together yourself. I think either buy them to put them together, or you could buy them as whole. I think it might cost more as whole though. But It is crazy. It is crazy how much those are, and I don't even think. Oh, man, I don't even think the first video game cabinets ever reached that. Maybe they did. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I mean, you're buying small businesses back then with that stuff.
Yeah.
Old school arcade would have 10, 20 machines tops,
Oh.
various degrees, and you're counting on kids putting quarters in there so you can make your rent payments.
Look, kid, go. Now I understand you have 1 quarter. Go back, put it in that machine. Come on, kid. Just play the game one more time.
Right?
That guy wouldn't let us sleep unless we played another game. But yeah, no, it's certainly been interesting how those things have changed. And even now, like, um, I remember as a kid going to like a Chuck E. Cheese. And it's not it you still had to use money for tokens, but still you had those arcade games in there as well and all that stuff. And nowadays, like you could possibly do an emulator and
Oh yeah.
then run those on there, or I think there is an official version of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle one that you can buy online. I'm not too sure, but still, times have changed where where you look back as to now, and the game that you once played that took up so much space and so much, it basically just an area on your hard drive.
Yeah, because I can remember as like I grew up pretty poor, and to get a game or a game system that was a big thing, and now it's like I just downloaded it.
Yeah, there's a place out there. It's called GOG, and they
Oh yeah,
have they have virtual games and stuff that once you buy it, it's yours. You can always re-download it, but once you buy it, it's yours. And it's always appreciated when you have a company that's like that, where they have retro games, and they're trying to update the coding and do all this stuff, because it's not an easy ordeal trying to transfer a game of old to what is now. It's
oh
not.
yeah.
That's
I remember when I got my first actual PC
mm.
that was my own. It was a Gateway computer. It came in that
Oh,
big cow box.
oh goodness.
And I installed one of my favorite games as when I was younger, which was Ultima 7.
Mhm.
The processor was so fast, you could walk across the whole, and like the game ran so fast, you're just sprinting across the screen. It was almost unplayable because the computer was too good for the game. So they actually have to dumb down the processor to run some of these old games in emulation. It's crazy.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Or it's um or it's like you can't even run it at all because it's
Yeah.
just too beyond the scope of. I had that. my my grandpa had one of those gateway computers too. and and there was a there were two games that I remember playing a long time ago. One was based upon Richard Scarry. For those that don't know, was it Scary? No, it was I can't remember. But he was Richard Scarry created it, but it was like Busy Town or something like that. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
yeah.
Let's see if I can't look up the name
All
because
those cute little animals doing things.
yeah, it was basically it has a there we go. I can see him trying to Busy World. Was it called Busy Town? Oh my gosh. Sorry, I just found they made a website uh of his stuff. Hold on. Let me get this showing up so people can see what I'm talking about. So this is what I'm talking about right here.
Oh yes,
Now this is the
it brings me back.
oh yeah, this is older stuff right here. Um but yeah, I think it's called Busy Town, and there was a game on which had this sort of stuff. Now I guess this is the author right there, who's also an artist. So there you go for more comic artistry stuff. But this is more family friendly stuff, um, because it's just crazy. Um, but yeah, there was a game based upon this, and then there was one for like it was like a Mickey Mouse reader or something like that. It was a Mickey Mouse game. But yeah, it was so, it was so a long time ago. I tried to I think it was the Mickey Mouse one. I tried to install it on my. Well, he knew, but I mean, he tried to install it on there, and it almost brought the computer down for good. Oh man, I can't. I wouldn't. Let's see. Nope, it's not how you spell Mickey. Oh goodness. People are like, well, he can't spell right. No. It was a PC game. 1982, I think this. Oh yeah, here we go. This is the game I'm talking about. Sorry, I'm bringing it up. Hold, give me 1 second. This is the game I'm talking about right here. You go through this process and play all this stuff, but it's like 19. It's a DOS game. It was, what's the year is it cited for it? 1992. Wow. Jeez Louise, that's
a while ago.
Yeah.
I think it was 14 or 15.
I don't even know. Wasn't even 4. Yeah, it was like around a 4 or 5 at that time. Goodness sake, that's how you know you're old. But there's just stuff like that that you remember. And yeah, like I said, I remember my grandpa had one of those Gateway. I can't remember who was. I don't know if that was who the creator of it was or not. But it was just like one of those things that, like nowadays, like my computer, I have a Ryzen 7, there's an AMD CPU. I have like, I have a AMD graphics card, all this stuff, and you can. Steam has been bad for me. Okay, when you're talking about games, right? If people don't know what Steam is, it's awful. It's horrible. I have over 200 games. Okay, that's how you know it. That's how you know it's bad. When you have over 200 games, you don't know what to do with yourself. You just like,
they keep having sales. You're like, well, I wasn't going to buy that, but it's so cheap. I might try it. They're collecting digital dust.
How could you read my mind? Oh my gosh! Oh! Stop! Get out of my head! Get out of my head!
I did buy the new Fatal Fury so I could have Mai and Chun-Li fighting it out. That was fun.
All right. No, I mean, when it comes time to like this winter sale or whatever sale's going on, yeah, no, that's pretty much true. It's like, this game, never thought I'd play it, but it only costs $1. Why not? But yeah, that just shows you again, going back to the technology stuff, of how much has changed since that point. And I mean, I don't. Is your tablet separate from your computer, or is it connected to?
It's connected to it. I've got an XP pin, 24-inch one, and then the iPad for on-the-go stuff.
Oh, really? Oh, that's pretty awesome. I know. I've heard that people can use the. I know one person who uses the iPad for their design work. But I'm more talking like I've seen people who have like those professional ones, like Wacom or something like that. I don't know. If,
I had a Wacom for I bought it in 2017 after I made made a pretty decent paycheck doing a color job for a project that fell through.
Oh, nice.
And I had come to a point where I was like, I couldn't progress digitally without having to be able to draw on screen.
Mm-hmm.
So I took the plunge and got my first Wacom 22-inch HD. That lasted me until just recently.
Wow.
And the screen went out on it, so I had to.
That's crazy.
Pen, and I love it. It's really good. It's really super smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Easy to draw on. Nice. It's big enough to where you can really move your arm, because all the best work happens in the shoulder. You're just do these broad strokes, and it's kind of hard to do that on a little tiny thing.
Yeah. Hold on, let me get my glasses. I can see the wording.
Yeah.
Honey, where's the magnifying glass? Hold on.
Man. I had to take mine off to do anything, and now it's getting to the point where I need to go buy readers just to do any close-up work, because it was like,
yeah.
that old.
I can imagine a neighbor looks in the room, like, You see? Is he trying to look at something? Does he not have his glasses with him? Oh man. Um but yeah, no, I so how is the cuz you had mentioned for on the go, like how is the iPad for your on the go stuff though?
I mean, the Apple Pencil is brilliant. It
Mm.
looks beautiful. It works just like a regular pencil.
Uh
Shading with the side of it, and that's really why I bought it. Is like because I had one of those Windows Slate ones with a stylus, and it was okay. And then I tried the iPad, and
mm.
I could turn the pencil to the side and shade. And I'm like, I'm buying this right now. I don't care what it costs. So I was making payments for a year and a half on it.
Oh man.
And, it's great technology. It works really well. I just wish it was bigger because I like larger areas to work in.
Give this man one that's the size of his bed. Give it to
You
him now.
know, why don't we have the Wacom table?
Yeah. At that point, you're just like, look, Daddy's drunk on the table. Oh, it's gone.
You can buy an 86 inch OLED screen at Costco for $800.
Yeah.
You'd be able to have that as just a table and draw.
You know what? I bet you anything if you found one that had like the touch sensitivity sort of thing, I bet you could. I
Yeah,
bet
maybe
you
somebody on
could.
Hackaday has already figured it out.
Go on. You're like, yeah, welcome to the dark web. We have tried to help you in figuring out how to make your TV touchable. No, that would be pretty awesome though, because it'd be like a digital air hockey right there.
Oh
Ah,
yeah,
look at that.
I've seen where they've got like digital board games where you can actually there's a screen
uh,
table and you can bring up different maps and stuff. I think that's really cool.
just be careful of Monopoly, man, because that will change people on a dime.
Yeah, nothing like Monopoly with me. That's one of my games I guess I'm good at.
Yeah.
I remember in college we played it for 11 hours one time.
What?
Yeah, because the joke with Monopoly is in the rules. It actually tells you how the Federal Reserve works. The bank
Yeah.
never runs out of money. You just start making up numbers and writing them on paper. It's in the Monopoly rules.
We all learned an important lesson today. Play Monopoly, you'll learn about life. No, that's pretty funny though. That is 11 hours. Holy crap. Oh man. I can't. Maybe an hour or two, but you get me to hour 3. I'm like, are we done yet? Can we leave?
Fine, you
Oh,
win. You own me for life. Just want to leave.
I just want to get. Look, I'll give you all the hotels I've got. Just let me go home. Not until I get my boardwalk. Not until I get. Oh my goodness, those are the two hardest spaces to get though. Boardwalk and Park Place. Those are
Yeah,
no. It was a boardwalk and there was something else. Oh yeah, Park Place. Yeah, it was Park Place. Boardwalk and Park Place. Two hardest places to get, but man, you get them. Oh my gosh, someone landed on them, you would bankrupt them in no time.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
If you played it straight.
oh, yeah. That's when.
I'd always pick the little race car, and there for a while I had different versions.
Uh,
Like I think I had Star Wars Monopoly for a little while, and they were
nice.
doing everything Monopoly.
Oh yeah, pretty much. I have a Beatles one. That one I have. I know I do remember this. They made one. Now my parents. I don't know if my parents still have this or not, but they made one for the Millennium. They
I
made
have that edition, the Millennium Edition.
oh my
It's
gosh.
it's silver in a silver bin, and it folded out like in four.
Yeah. Yep. And it had like the dye. You could just like these clear yellow orange dye. You could just see through and all this. They weren't exactly like regular dye too. They were like this weird sort of oddly shaped dye as well. It was crazy. Still didn't help any better when someone was yelling, "Please, please sell me this railroad." No, I'm not going to. But yeah, it's yeah, people talk about Monopoly, and you see people with like PTSD, just like, oh, please, Merry Christmas.
There's two kinds of people. There's people who love to play Monopoly, and there's people who hate playing people that love to play Monopoly.
I have no problem with it. I just know that it's not allowed in my grandparents' home because I guess my grandfather would get very into the game.
Competitive.
There's that, and so it's been banned from that place. But I'm like, I just enjoy it because it's like you get to you just get to go around buy spots, and then you get to learn how to haggle and deal. There's that. That's a what that should be a thing in school. Teach
Oh yeah,
kids how.
no, there's plenty of life lessons to be learned from Monopoly.
I bet you anything later on Hasbro's gonna what that sounds about. Let's make a life monopoly. Someone bring that idea. Life monopoly. Come on. Oh boy, but yeah, there's some things to learn from that too because I earlier before you got on, I was talking about how, um, it is the beginning of the year and obviously it is tax time. So I was trying to make sure people are aware that since you are months ahead, make sure you get your taxes done early because if something happens, or you find something, then you've got enough time. But being as a content creator, like that's always been a small, not a big worry, but it's sort of a worry because it's considered self-employment as the government says, and I have a full-time job, so I'm not like relying on it for paying bills or whatever. But there's always that case. And last year, I didn't know how much I made. Then I saw, I was like, wow, I did not put enough money aside for this. So, so I have something to do my taxes. But yeah, I think getting your taxes done as early as possible is probably the best way not to feel so heavy-handed about it. And I can't imagine how you go through it because you're mostly living off it. And that's self-employment right there. That's
Yeah, it's you find a lot of ways to figure out that something is a business expense.
there you go.
Believe
There
it.
you, oh yeah. Oh yeah. I so luckily not luckily, but like last year I found things like I pay for certain programs. I can use those. And this is the only time I've ever made this much. I should clarify that this is last year was the only time I've ever made that much. Last time was like maybe below 600 or something, small stuff. But last year, because I'm on a creator program on Rumble side, and I had made quite a bit. But my fault was that stuff came up over time, and I was taking money out and doing all this stuff. So I didn't save enough for the side, but I am now because I got overtime going on. But yeah, it's just one of those things where I'm trying to find all the things that can count as expense, and like, oh, maybe this thing could, or maybe this thing could. Just like I just want this to be over with. Oh man, I despise it. I despise it heavily. That's for sure. Oh goodness. But beyond the most depressing talk of tonight,
We're gonna end on a happier note than that.
yeah, we're gonna go beyond that.
We set the bar pretty low, so this should be pretty easy to bring it home.
Oh yeah, I can always bring it home, but we're not bringing it home yet. But it is something I do. So at the top of the hour, so DinoMan, at the top of the hour, I'm just say DinoMan because it just makes you sound more superheroic at a certain point. He comes in and he beats the bad guys with his short arms. I'm here to save the day. Come on, kids. Oh man, someone's gonna steal that idea. Anyway, so what happens is that when I have a guest on, whether they're a creator or not, I set aside some time at the top of the hour for to promote our stuff. And even if they're not a content creator, they can say a few words and do whatever. But I do have. Oops, nope, I did not mean to press that. Here we go. I do have your link tree. So, sir, if you want to promote yourself your way, the floor is yours.
Sure, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, yeah, if you check out my link tree on any of my social media accounts, X being the best one, you can follow me at Dreaded Dinosaur. There should be a link at the top of the page to check out the Daughter's Revenge book on Repisend. And of course, you can follow me on X, Instagram, YouTube. It's all under Dreaded Dinosaur. And yeah, I appreciate. There's also the Dreaded Dinosaur Man on Webtoon. There's a link for that on the link tree. So
nice.
I need to get back to that. I really do. Haven't drawn it for a while because it hasn't been paying any bills.
Yeah.
But, that's my passion project. So
Mhm.
appreciate any eyeballs on it, and I will get back to it. I'm not getting rid of that. That's for sure.
Nice.
But yeah, that's kind of me in the nutshell. If you're on Amazon Prime and you want to watch a documentary about comic books and life trauma, check out Selling Superman. I'm
Oh,
in episode 3 and 4.
really?
So that was an interesting adventure. Yep, good friend of mine inherited a bunch of comic books from his father, who was not the most fun to grow up with, and there's a
Right.
tragic family story involved, and
Mm,
he has turned into something pretty good because we use the comic book collection as a force for good to uplift some people here and there, and
mhm.
just kind of dealing with all of those personal trauma stories. And I know I have my own too, so
Right.
we all do.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's a shared thing that I don't think enough people share with each other, because we'd find out that we don't have so much differences if we just talked honestly to one another. So
True. Yeah, very true. And that's why I do what I do. But again, his link tree is right there. All of his links are in it, including his his comic that is out now, the Pirate's Daughter. And I've only seen bits and pieces. I think I've only seen the ones that you've posted on like X and stuff, or J, one of the two. But it looks really good. Very very actiony from what I saw. But again, there are just some things you only see so much. You really have to get it to see for yourself. But great artwork, and it seems like it's done by a great group of people. So give it a look. But also, DinoMan has a bunch of other stuff in there too. So give him a look there as well. Because as I usually say, if he's worth a follow or not. Because telling people to follow someone is just it really doesn't work out very well. Um, well, I mean, you can have somebody follow you, but it's really just an empty follow. So it's sort of like,
yeah,
you want people to engage with your work because you enjoy it. It's very much it's you put on a page, and you want people to see how great it is. So there's that. But yeah, so this will be both on the Rumble side and YouTube side, because they're both places I stream to. So there you go for that. Let's see. I gotta find mine. All right, here we go. For my end of things, whether you are on the Rumble side or whether you're on the YouTube side, doesn't matter which side you're on. If you wouldn't mind leaving a like, sharing the content, leaving a comment or follow, every bit helps towards not only being seen more, but it also helps in having more conversations with people like the Dino Man. All right, maybe needs a cape. Could use a shirt with his front says the Dinosaur Man is here, sort of thing. Um, but it also helps in having, just like I've had Tomby, I've had on over 300 various guests on this thing, and they're creator or not, doesn't matter. What matters is people get, the people say yes, and they just come on for a conversation, and that's what it's all about, conversing about wherever it goes. And believe you me, we've done an hour of that already, so it shows you how well we are at this. Um, no, no professionalism here on my end. Hey, Sunny Pie, how are you? But that's the any help with the engagement factor is much appreciated on their end. And of course, this is my a link tree right there. Obviously, you can go there. You can find all my links there too. It's just my Twitter X1, my email. I have a link to Discord, but it's just for DMing, and my Rumble and YouTube link are there as well. So you can find all my stuff there too. And of course, I do promote a few things, not too much because I don't want to bore anyone about it. But yeah, that's the next thing is like, and class. And it's almost like that guy from Ferris Bueller. And class, we're here to talk about the two things that will give us business perspectives on
Bueller, Bueller.
let's talk about the world of geography.
Great movie.
Sir, do we have to watch this video again? You're gonna watch this video as much as I want you to. Get back to watching the video. Anyway, the first thing I promote is something I use on a daily basis. I don't know if anyone else does, but if you've never heard of Proton, they are a very privacy oriented company. Now, this this is promoting like their Proton Unlimited, but there's also the individual parts too you can use. They're offering 2 weeks free on any of the different parts that they offer: Proton Drive, Proton Pass, Proton Mail, Proton VPN, all good points. And again, I use it on a daily basis. The Proton Unlimited plan is sort of like the collection of suite, sort of like they have Word Suite, all that stuff. But this is just to try it out and see, and you can go from there if you want.
They really need to do their own web browser.
Well, I mean, I use Brave. I use Brave for
Brave's great, but I think I don't know. I love Proton. I've been on Proton for 4 years.
Oh, really? What?
And it's terrific. I could not stand GoDaddy 365. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, let's say that over to GoDaddy 365. Wow, that's man, jeez. But like, what do you just use the mail? What parts of Proton do you
all
use?
of it. Like I couldn't live without Proton Drive.
Yeah.
That's how I turned in all the pages for Daughter's Revenge.
Oh, okay.
And I got into the colorist, and I love the emails. Great, the VPN. The only thing I haven't used is their little AI chatbot.
Oh, Lumo?
Yeah.
I haven't used it very much either. I use Claude for my stuff, but they also have a Proton Pass. And Proton
Password Manager is great.
Yeah, Password Manager. The one thing I really like it though is that you can use something called an alias email. I don't know if you use that, but for those who don't know, the alias email is basically they'll make a email for you that you can use to sign up for, like, say like you're signing up for a gym, right? It's probably the easy example I can give. Say you're signing up for a gym membership. Well, guess what? They usually ask you for a email address because that's how it goes. However, you don't have to give them your actual email address. You can give them an email address that Proton gives to you. You can send it to that company, and that will send back to your actual email, but they don't have your actual email. See how that goes? But it's real handy in those cases because you never know. And you hear those stories like some company got hacked, breached, or whatever. Proton's really great about all this stuff. And again, I've had many people like yourself who use Proton to some example, and I think hearing people like, because again, I look, being part of the Proton program, yes, I can make money off it. That's not something I'm going to hide. But the other part of it is promoting a product that I use and believe in, and also again, like having Dinosaur Man on, that I didn't know he did use Proton. It also just kind of goes to show that it's a product that at least is worth trying and then see if it works out for you. Because at the end of the day, you know what, you can try the other stuff. That's fine. I just, I'm going to promote something that I believe works, and people can make up their own choice. You have a brain, use it. Come on, guys. But anyway, you can do a 2-week free trial, and then from there, it's up to you. But again, worth giving it a look. Or if you want to try it, up to you. And that's why I promote it, for all that good stuff, and all the people who use it as well. And the next point, the last one I do, is something, it's called biltong. Now, for those who don't know what biltong is a South African snack item. It's basically, it's a meat snack. Some say it's like beef jerky, but it's not really.
It's better than beef jerky because it's still got some moisture to it.
Yeah. It's better than store-bought beef jerky, because store-bought beef jerky, one, it just has a lot of sugars and stuff. Listen, if you were to read the package of store-bought beef jerky, you would probably cry yourself to sleep, because that's a lot. All right. But funny enough, this one, USA, Biltong USA, I've actually had the gentleman on. His name is Anton, and he's actually from South Africa. He's married to a woman who's American, but he came over legally. But him and his wife have set up a place in Texas. And so they have their store and stuff there and all that. So if you're in Texas, you're in luck. They do have a convenience little store there that you can buy what they can buy online. But this will take you to the online store. They have a whole bunch of stuff, more than biltong, like UK sweets and treats, drinks, stuff from South Africa, other like snacks as well. I mean, it's just a great time. And again, they're great people. It's made in America, other than the stuff that has to be brought from outside the country, because Earn Brew does not be made in America. Okay. It's one of the soda cans they sell. But if you do buy something from them, guess what? You can save 10% by using code Dara. And again, they're just really great people making something American made, and they want people to enjoy what they eat. So, and it's much more healthy for you. So, if you've never had it, give it a look, and if you do, you can save some money using code Dara. That's all my spieling I do. I'm waiting for someone to go there. That was 25 minutes and 30 seconds. You're a little behind. God dang it. Every time. Because this is one of the things that gets me for content creation is like, I'm just using YouTube as a basis. Like, there are times where people do like a video, like a long form video or something. And like at the beginning of their video, not the very beginning, but sort of a little after that beginning point, they'll be like, and we are sponsored by so and so. And you're just like, okay, but I thought I was here to watch it. Can you just wait towards the end of the video to do that? No, if I didn't do it at first, you wouldn't have gone to buy things.
Are you imitating Paul Joseph Watson by chance?
I'm trying to do an Englishman who's very uptight with himself, okay? If you don't drop the jubles, I don't make the rubles. Does that make sense?
I'll tell you what, the Black Forest supplements I found through one of those. They make some good stuff. So,
Black Forest supplements. That sounds like something that's a little Halloweeny at that point. Do you want to get spooked by ghosts and goblins? Well, take these black pills from Black Forest. You won't know what's in them, but you'll have a great time finding out. Oh man. Oh my goodness. But yeah, it's just one of those things as a content creator. I've had that rough patch. First off, it was like asking for like, likes and sharing the content and all that stuff. That was one of those rough things. And then it came to like the promoting stuff, which the Proton one was first because they were promoting their partner program. I think it was like sometime last year. And I was like, you know what? I'm probably not going to get in anyway. So I might as well try it, right? Nothing to lose. Like 24 hours after that happened, I got an email back saying you're in. And like, are you sure about that?
I would love that. I would totally. I don't do enough of this type of content. I haven't found a way to actually put it into my work life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's a great one to do because I tell people about Proton all the time, and I don't make a dime off of it.
Yeah.
Because it's good.
Yeah.
They're a legit company that do what they say they do.
Yeah. No, it's one of those things where I know people are like, well, I'd like to try it first because there's some people out there that promote Shadow Raid Legends.
Yeah.
This time on Shadow Raid Legends, a promotion like no other comes to your screen. You're about to give insight.
I can't stand the most are the ones that try to be like it's an episode content where just the video will just start being like, okay, guys, we got to defend this wall, blah, blah, blah. Like,
and you can't skip that. I
swear YouTube does it on purpose to make you pay for YouTube because I'm never getting Liberty Insurance ever.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of seeing those ads. When the interrupt advertisement, I'm listening to a really cool video about ancient history,
yeah,
forbidden history or whatnot, and then suddenly it's like some obnoxious ads like, okay, I'm never supporting that. Supporting that.
That's why, ladies and gentlemen, it's called Brave. Listen, I did a free trial once for YouTube Premium. Once the free trial was over, there was Brave. I found my free ticket, and you can too. But yeah, I think it's just that nature of part of it is that a lot of people on YouTube who are content creators who can make their money off those ads. Like it's the bread and butter of it.
Yeah, no, I get it.
And another part of it, I think, is like they get in contact with sponsorships or whatever, or through their content being seen sponsorships, which it's a whole nother ballpark I have not even touched on. I don't really care to because it doesn't make any sense for what I do. If someone wants to work with me, I'm not against it, but I'm not going to sit here and begging for people to say, "Will you pay me money?" Okay, never mind, because I'm not, stuck to have this being like my financial fortitude. Because oh, good lord, I feel sorry for people who've built their life only on YouTube, and then come to find out YouTube's like, hey, this thing happened 2 years ago. Guess what? Your account's gone.
Well, one of my favorite channels on YouTube, Vidith22. He he's a narrator, and so you'll get
Oh.
independent authors, and
Uh-huh.
he specializes in horror and sci-fi, fantasy fiction, a lot of very there's a lot of horror stories on there,
Right.
and he's got a really great voice for reading these stories and
Nice.
doing the narration. And YouTube recently killed his channel. And I think he's close to 1 million subscribers, but they completely demonetized him, saying the AI said it was like auto-generated content or something ridiculous. So he's in this awful appeals process.
Yeah.
So I went over and I threw him some money on Patreon because it's just not right. I mean, you like you said, you spend your life building this brand up, and you get this audience that loves your stuff.
Yeah.
Here comes AI. No, 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 no. And there's no, I was kicked off X for a week because I
Oh
used,
yeah, I saw that.
yeah, somebody posted an engagement farming video of some jerk off kicking a cat, and I said, and their question was, what would you do if they did this to your pet? And I was like, well, I would pound the snot out of them.
Mm-hmm.
Harsh language. Apparently, that was too much for the kid's ears, so that was a
Right.
week in jail.
Jeez. Pound snot out of you is that's sort of like fourth grade.
That's like seventh grade language. Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna pound the snot out of you, nerd.
I mean, what retard programmed that?
Oh,
It's so
well,
hypersensitive. So I'm just gonna start tweeting the word redacted whenever I'm going to say something.
you know what? I think Dinosaur Man, we're on to something here. I feel the creative juices flowing. You'll do redacted, and then you'll do another one's called blacklisted, and you just be like, you'll try to say a person's name, but then it'll get you in trouble, so you can't say the person's name. So you'll just say blacklisted. I work with this blacklisted company all the time.
Right?
I can't believe this blacklisted company has ever done anything like this before. Sort of like, I remember when, I think it was when Jimmy Kimmel used to do the unnecessary censorship. And it was so, you would be like, what? Are they sure they said something innocent there? What?
Right?
Oh my goodness. But yeah, it is crazy. And part of it is, YouTube not even knowing their own stuff at times. So there's that too. But it's also so big that trying to get in his answer from human is much more difficult because it's global. It's YouTube, Google. It's probably a big chunk of his people.
Again, this circles back to our AI conversation.
Yeah.
I am certain that YouTube eventually just wants to be an AI company.
Oh,
If
yeah.
they can just
Yeah.
they have the AI produce videos. They don't need people to do it anymore, so they don't have to pay out anybody.
Yeah. There was so, and this I agree with you on that part because I remember when. For those who don't know, when you're YouTube, you have a creator studio sort of thing, and in the back end, you'll have a bunch of different tabs. You'll say podcast, live, shorts, videos, all this stuff. Well, I think it was like a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, there actually appeared one that was called inspiration. Now, what is inspiration? Now, you would click on inspiration, and they'd be like, "Hey, what about this type of a video or that type of video or whatever?" It would generate video types for you. And I said, when I saw that, I said, you know what? I think they're going to get ready to make their own content creator. But but it's kind of a difficult thing because the AI wasn't there. But then VO3 came out. And what happened with VO3? Well, it made those Sasquatch videos. It made those Stormtrooper videos.
Yeah.
And now you could still tell it's not that perfect still. Even the Sasquatch videos have their issues. But the point of the matter is though is that it is essential that sooner or later, I mean, yeah, you do have some slop on there. I do know they're like AI narrated videos on there or stuff like that. So you do have that kind of stuff in there. But I do believe that in that context, they are going to eventually become less and less because they'll want to keep more of the money for themselves than paying
Mhm.
out. And what does that mean? Well, it costs a lot of money. Let's just be honest off the bat. It costs a lot of money to do video hosting. Now, obviously, Google, which basically YouTube is, fronts that. But the problem of it is, though, is that there's bandwidth to talk about, there's storage to talk about, there's so much stuff out there. The AI stuff, even that included too. But at a certain point, the thought is going to come across their mind if it hasn't already. Why give people a portion of the money that we get from advertising and whatnot when we can get all the money for ourselves and take people off? Now, I'm not saying they're going to be successful at that because it's still quite a ways away for it to be indistinguishable. But once it does, I mean,
I
if
mean,
they
it's
get
no difference than all the OnlyFans accounts that are just AI, or all the Instagram influencer or TikTok. Actually, TikTok's huge for it now.
oh yeah,
So many AI influencers. It's like the two worst words coming together. AI influencer. It's the most
yeah.
phony thing you can think of.
Well, and it's funny thing too. They mentioned that like there were videos that came across that you could tell were AI, but they wouldn't mention like they were, someone said, the person says this is an AI video, adjusted whatever, and I was like reporting them saying, well, this doesn't. It says it's an AI video because it was like, it was a. What was it? It was like a car reconstruction, right? It was this old car getting fixed up, but you could tell like there was just stuff wrong. Like there'd be
Mhm.
you'd knock on a point and there'd be just more rust falling out and all this sort of stuff. I'm like, what? So it's just one of those things where I like TikTok, no, no TikTok. But yeah, I don't think it's not gonna be anytime recent, but sooner or later, I think they're eventually going to make their own content creator. And if it's distinguishable enough that people can't tell the difference and they enjoy it and they have fun with it, all you need is a good script writer and you're done.
Yep.
And this is a funny thing, though, right? This is a funny thing that I don't think people realize. Um, People uploading videos to YouTube, you're helping the process. Let me say it
You're
again.
literally training your replacement.
Yeah, because YouTube is Google. Google owns YouTube, right? YouTube is Google's biggest data mining center. Let me say it again. Your data, your videos that you upload to YouTube, you're under their TOS, which means F all ya. Your stuff is ours, and we get to do with what we want. And so it basically does come to that point where the people on this platform, they can fight against like, oh, we don't like AI or whatever, but like you're on a platform that has a huge swath of influence by AI and they're training your placements. Now, like you said earlier, it could be like where you have people who tell the difference and they go there or whatever, but if it gets to the point they can't tell the difference, like all I'll say is this: you want to know why the Sasquatch videos were successful as they were? I don't know if they are now still, but do you want to know why they were successful right off the bat? One is because they were funny right off the bat; they were humorous. Second is because, and I think this could apply to the Stormtrooper one too, but that's a little more jumping onto a IP. That's kind of I don't know how that got taken. But the Sasquatch one was like, it was funny. You could do a lot with it. You could all do this weird stuff. And yes, there were times you could tell it was AI. But did that matter while you were laughing at it?
No.
No. No. Um,
I mean,
so
it's
like,
great. It's great for memes. It makes great video memes now.
no.
It's a fun toy, but it's just like, what's the end game here?
Yeah, that's the interesting question. And I think for companies who are going to be in this race for supremacy, I mean, at this point, I think Elon's just the one ahead.
Well, we'll see if OpenAI actually crumbles, because like people say it's going to.
Mm.
Supposedly, the AI bubble's due to burst pretty soon, because in the way I had seen it explained
Mm-hmm.
on a podcast was that they basically started building all these data centers
Mm.
when you were looking at $600 a token to
Yeah,
produce content and cost.
yeah,
So that's what they based their model off of, and now it's down to like $3
yeah,
because the technology gets better, it gets cheaper. You need less horsepower to do more because that's the nature of technology.
yeah,
So now they've like RAM went up in price and hard drives went up in price because they've bought 3 years worth of inventory that doesn't even exist.
yeah,
And they're going to need to ramp all this up. By the time they get there, it's all going to fit on your iPhone anyway.
yeah. You could have a local. It's funny enough. I work at a company where we deal with those graphics cards that come through the H100s. All this stuff. They come through. They get tested, and if they're still good, they get sent out back to the place, or they get sent out to back to the vendor or whatever. But I mean these GPUs, they have a heat sink on. They have a heat sink on like this big, and then you have this GPU that's like this thin, but the heat sink sits on top, and so you have that combo right there. Now the ones that are known as H100s, those are about they're about this high, right? Oops, sorry, I can't. They're about. Let me show you what it looks like off screen first.
Off screen.
Yeah. So it's about, it's about this big. It's about this big. They have ones now that are starting to come out, not as quick because they're more. It's like NVIDIA stuff, because NVIDIA is the one that has really all this AI stuff together. The next, I think next one up is B200s, which is their newest version of stuff. And these honkers with the graphics cards at bottom and then heatsink, it's about, oh my gosh, it's probably about this big. Probably about this much bigger. Let me see if I can't. H100. Let's see if I can't find a picture.
So you're not talking about like a Blackwell or an RTX GPU. You're talking about like a big server thing, right?
I'm trying to find a picture of them because I know what they look like. But they have a heatsink on and all that stuff. But images. Trying to see if I can't. Well, here's what one of them looks like. The card part. So you got this. This one right here is what it looks like, card part wise. So that's the card. That's the bottom of it, or top of it.
Yep.
And you have a bottom of it, and then you'd have a heat sink that would go on top of this. So these show, yeah, they look like that. Look, there we go. So that's what they look like right there. That's their top cover, right? And that's their sizing right here. There we go. There we go. That's much better. That's their sizing right there. So that's what they are. It's 8-in-1. So this thing right here is its assembly. It's the board. It's called a baseboard right here. And then these cards right there are the H100s in a row. So it's about 8 per board, right? And some places have thousands upon thousands upon thousands of these suckers. But that's how big they are. And so I don't know how to give it a good measuring system, but it's not too big. To get to their B200s though, if I can find it, Nope, that's not how you do it. B200. I do not want to find a plane. B200. I got it. Hold on. I can put a GPU. There we go. There we go. Let's see. I'm trying to find a good picture of what they look like. I mean, that's the system they go in, but try to find. Here you go. No, that's not it. Yeah, but B200. It's a pretty massive unit, and I guess we can use this. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at that. That's how tall they are, singularly. Oh, there we go. This is more apt.
Okay.
So you see the brown thing right there? That's one card. That's that tower right I was talking about, and then the card is at the very bottom of it. So
And that's like one server rack right there with a bunch on there.
Oh yeah, that's 8 per. So this is the baseboard below it, and these are 8 cards within it. So and this right in the center right here, that's a heatsink. That's a heatsink right there. So you have 4 graphics cards on either end, which are tall in themselves because they have a little card there. Now again, these things right here, just that length alone, that's all heatsink. It's
Yeah.
to draw away the extreme heat these suckers put out, and it's insane. But yeah, these things are tall, and these are the next line running up. There's a Blackwell B200, is what they are. That's what the B stands for in the system, is Blackwell 200, as the Hopper 8 or H100. But yeah, it's it's gonna be crazy.
It's a long way from the NVIDIA Pro 6000.
Oh gosh,
And that's a beefy card too. I mean, I'd love to be able to afford that.
Well, there was one card. I think they were making it with AI, and it was like the 1050 or something like that. Oh gosh, what was that? NVIDIA.
Well, the 50 series is all an AI card. Your
Yeah.
5090, 5080.
Oh yeah, 50.
The
That's
computer
it.
I've got right now is running a 3070 8 VRAM. I bought a new PC that I haven't got up and running yet because I'm trying to switch over to Linux.
Yeah.
In that one, I've got a 32 gigabyte AMD card.
Mm-hmm.
It's their AI creator card that they just put out.
Mm-hmm.
But the Wayland-based operating system doesn't like the drivers for my graphics tablet. So I was like, do I got to give up the Linux distro that came with the PC and try something else? So it's an experiment, but I really want to get away from Windows ecosystem as much as possible.
Yeah, and that's understandable, especially with all the. I know a majority of the conversation has been around their updates and stuff, but this is the 5090.
Yep.
They were talking about, and this was the one that they had mentioned. It was with like an AI something in it.
Yeah. So what those cards will do is they're using AI to generate your frames in between frames for gaming.
Yeah.
So it's generating frames instead of having to render frames, basically.
Yeah, and it's crazy. And definitely these are I would assume are probably power hogs, but definitely these are so so from the previous for those who don't know, from the previous cards I was showing to now, those are more businessy type cards, and these are more residential customer cards that you can buy. Because the other ones would cost you, I think last time Oh yeah, let's see. I remember being told that one of the H100s was probably around 60 grand. 60 grand. That's big one. I think the B200s are probably around 80 grand. 80K, sorry, 80K.
And now you know, kids, why they're all trading the same $1 trillion.
When they tell you
NVIDIA to invest $1 trillion in OpenAI, OpenAI invests $1 trillion in Micron invests $1 trillion in NVIDIA. They just keep horse trading.
Oh yeah, the money's got to move somewhere. And they're like, oh man, it can't be our time, guys. Take it back to you. No, we already did. IRS is coming. We got to move it. Yeah, it really does. It really does seem like that. And I think a lot of people were, obviously, it kind of showed in the prices, of course, like RAM and stuff. But when Micron had decided to move away from the customer, or all that stuff, and there's really only a few places that do RAM. What's another one? You got Micron. You've got Samsung. Samsung's another one. They
Yep.
usually have good.
And then, Hilux, I think, is
Yeah, Hynix. Yep, Hynix is another one. But beyond that, I mean, it's a lot more. It's a lot more than CPU, but still, it's whittling down the wire. And I know a lot of people are worried, like, well, I can't get any RAM if I can't afford it, which is true. I know the AI stuff does drive up prices, but at the end of the day, like, you want to, you enjoy that 10-second video on Grok, so there's a trade off with that.
yeah, no, it's crazy because I bought in because my computer I'm running right now is I built that before COVID.
Oh, okay.
So it's aged out. I can't even install Windows 11 on it if I wanted to.
Wow.
So I knew I needed a new system. I just waited too long and prices started to go up. So it was like, I got to do this now or never.
Yeah.
And so that's where I'm at. I
Yeah.
do have 64 gigs of RAM in it,
Nice.
thanks to a Micro Center sale.
Oh, nice.
And then, the AMD card, which hopefully I can get working. But really, until the drivers update, like I can't use it for drawing because if the drivers don't work right, I gotta find another distro or just wait for them to upgrade because I guess Wayland has been the future of Linux for 10 years now.
Wow.
But not everything supports it, so
Yeah, and I know there's like many different version of Linux. Like I know Ubuntu is a pretty big popular one. I've heard Red Hat's is one. Mint, I think
yep, Linux Mint.
Minix.
That one's X11 based, and that's the one my research tells me I might switch to because the XP pin I think is better for that. I got into a Reddit thread where a guy was complaining about Wayland and not being able to get his graphics tablet working and going to Linux Mint. So I might do that because I originally bought into System 76. They build the computers in Denver, Colorado. Case is amazing. It's like the best case I've ever seen as far as airflow, ease of use. It is really easy to get in there and put your own components in because I did that.
Right.
And I'm working on a video to show the whole process.
Nice.
But they have their own operating system called Cosmic. And then it runs Pop OS. Pop OS is like the face of Cosmic, whatever. I don't know.
Right.
There's like desktops, and then there's the operating system, or two different things in Linux.
Right.
Where Windows, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
But for their Cosmic desktop, it just doesn't work right. Like I got it to map once, like a draw, but then it's not getting the pressure sensitivity. So it's all pixels. It's not that nice free flowing lines that are high res.
Yeah.
So I might have to just stick with my Windows 10 build until the Linux stuff catches up or whatever. But at least I've got at least another 5 years now with the new system.
Nice. Yeah. The one of the biggest hurdles I think for Linux is just that it's more of a tech savvy OS than it is a normie draw OS.
Yeah, and they're trying to bridge that. That one of the things that I liked about the Pop OS Cosmic is it's really geared towards creatives, so it's easier to customize, easier to navigate, very easy to install programs. You don't have to be in terminal for most things. But because I was having trouble with drivers for my graphics tablet, I was in terminal.
Yeah.
And I had a browser window open with Grok, and I'm like, okay, Grok, we got to try to make this work. And it was giving me the terminal commands to type in because I didn't know any of this stuff. And we'd try it, see what happens. I'd paste in what it gave back. you're working back and forth with your virtual tech buddy here, and made some progress. I was able to get Comfy UI installed. I was able to get it working with the AMD GPU because it wants NVIDIA CUDA, because NVIDIA CUDA is cemented in AI, and they have their Rokum for AMD, which is their competitor that's starting to catch on. I sound like I know all this shit. I've been learning recently.
Right.
I'm not a techie, but I play one on TV.
There you go.
But so we got that working okay, but still the tests were coming back garbled, and it just hasn't been a good experience so far. So there's plenty of time to work into it because I can still do stuff with my old system if I have to, which I'm doing right now. But again, at the end of the day, it's just like I want to decouple from Windows. I don't want their spyware. I know where they're going. It's going to be operating system as a service.
Yeah.
Everything is a subscription. I want to own my software. I want to own my content. I don't want it on like my day job is in IT.
Yeah.
And I do marketing for my buddy's IT company.
Wow.
And it's all Windows based, and it's like it's gross. Just the way, and that's an ecosystem that's never going away because the business world's all super tied into it.
Yeah. Yep.
So all
exactly.
of our clients, they all have Windows machines, and some of these updates will brick systems because Microsoft decided to let AI write all their code.
Oof.
So now they'll updates get rolled back and what have you. So yeah, it's definitely a painful time to be a PC user in some regards.
Yeah, and I think that's been an issue with Linux for people adopting it. And I know most more majorly it's Windows pushing people to use Linux because of that. But Linux's issue is still the usability feature because it's always a user complexity issue.
Yeah.
And using stuff, right? It doesn't matter the platform or whatever or OS. It's always and Windows has been a staple of American culture and now global for years and years, ever since the late 80s, early 90s. And yes, Apple's out there, but it has such a small market that it's not impactful enough. Microsoft is still the big winner in companies, and also part of the issue too is that some companies they don't update their stuff, or at least they don't take care of their stuff, and it ends up biting them in the butt. Yeah,
we've got there was one client still had machines with Windows 7. Like, no, you can't have that anymore. You're a global manufacturer. You can't have a computer in there with Windows 7 because you might as well just open the front door.
Yeah. Come on in, just steal all our stuff. It's right there. Look at that.
Windows does that on purpose to people because they will stop security updates at some point.
Yeah.
They had to get bullied into continuing Windows 10 for 2 more years.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to stop. So it's only you're getting essential security updates only. And I hate to say this, but if you're a big company, you need to have not only your own IT department, but you need to probably have a third party, like the company I work for, that just does cybersecurity.
Yeah.
Most of our clients all cybersecurity, and the threats are just so out there.
Yeah.
Today I was doing dark web reports for some prospective clients.
Yeah.
I'll just put in their domain name and it'll return. Oh, there was 1,000 hits. Here's the latest 100 hits.
Yeah.
There's 20 people whose passwords are compromised. Well, here's a PDF. I'll send that to them. If you want to discuss it, give me a call. We can help out.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's been a funny part too is that IT also gets the very low end of it because of the money's not being made in IT. The money's being made.
It's all expense. Yeah, it's all expense.
Yeah, and so the money's being made where the sales are at or whatever it is, and so that's where IT gets the shortest end of the string is because it's just seen as all expense. But the problem of it is that if you just see it as all expense, well, just say hello to your best new friends, the Black Hats, and and they never leave. They'll never leave if you let them stay there.
Oh yeah,
So
and it gets more sophisticated every day. Like we do government work, and there's a specific type of camera that you have to have for security cameras. Because if you buy the ones off Temu, because you're going to save $1,
yep,
they can already remote into those cameras. So all government institutions have to have these like a certain few cameras
yeah.
that are actually secured and they're not made in China, because all the ones made in China it's already a security breach.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that a majority of the stuff American is made in China. Like 90% of what we have is.
Well, yeah, they knew what they're doing. They'd pay off our politicians and get a foothold in our economy.
Yeah.
Because a lot of drugs are made in China, a lot of components made in China.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like now China's holding our balls, so that we got to point missiles at them or make airline planes disappear. So it's a constant Mexican standoff.
Yep. Yep. And depending on who's in charge, but even then, um, but yeah, it's it's just an interesting notion for people to understand of how, um, how stuff like. And I was getting a broken record, but how promoting something like Proton
Yeah,
is so important because of. I know again we're on the internet, so everyone knows that nothing's 100%, nothing's 100% secure, nothing's 100% private. They just try to every time make sure that their things are updated and whatnot. And I believe they allow people to see the audit of the Proton work. Like they allow people to see it's like done by a third party or whatever. Um, but it's just one of those things where um, I can agree that in the future there probably will be an OS as a service because of they're trying to get money out of everything, right?
mhm.
Trying to get hopefully one day at least air will be good enough to be good enough to be free. Um, but yeah, it does feel like it's going that way where it feels like you're getting charged at almost every turn for doing something. It's like why why is it costing me to walk in a park now? What?
Yeah, they're and you see these crackpot billionaires from the WEF,
Yeah,
and they're talking about making air and water commodities. I'm like,
really?
why aren't we redacted these people by now? They didn't have this much power.
Then you'll have a shirt that says "the most redacted man on the internet."
Like these type of people need to be Minecrafted.
Yeah, yeah.
Seriously, it's like
They need it. They need to get. It's like back in the old days of school where they used to have like a big paddle with air holes in it. And they just
right.
need to. They just need to be get a little paddle every once in a while. No, you don't do this. Swat, swat, swat.
I didn't
Um.
expect all of our leaders at once to suddenly be Bond villains.
Well, okay. Look, Sean Bean was an all right Bond villain. All right. You have Javier Bardem. Okay. Let's just not get into it. There's too many Bond villains out there. They look good, are too good, or something like that. None of what we have is that good looking.
Right? Yeah, it's all the worst ones. It's like they're all members of Spectre.
Yeah. I am the 2 inspector. I'm just gonna take all your luggage and all those things. It's just gonna get bad. But yeah, yeah, it really is sucky out there, and I think that's gonna be an interesting thing going forward of how because Linux is a very community built sort of thing. I think Ubuntu is very community built and so on and so forth. It's just going to be one of those things where people are going to find out, who do that stuff. If they can get to that par where they can get normies on, or
Yeah,
if it's going to still be stuck to tech savvy people. And
free open source software isn't as bad as you think it is. Like,
yeah,
I use Clip Studio for a lot of stuff. I drew the entire Daughter's Revenge book in Clip Studio.
wow,
My next project, though, I think is probably going to be all in Krita. Krita is a free open source paint program.
Mm.
It's an easy replacement for most things you would do in Photoshop or Clip Studio in terms of drawing and
Yeah.
coloring. You can designing and whatnot, and yeah, it's completely free,
Mm.
not tied to a license on the internet like Affinity. I
Yeah.
use Affinity at work because we don't want to pay for an Adobe license.
Yeah.
It's still tied to an online subscription account
Yeah.
somewhere. So if you don't have the internet, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But with Krita, it's you download it, you own it, and it's very sophisticated. I can get some really nice looking stuff out of a free program. It's crazy. And
Nice.
there's video editors out there that are good. Caden Live is one that comes to mind.
Mm.
Seems fairly sophisticated. So there are options. You just got to be willing to look for them and give them a try.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that that'll be the next part about it is um like word of mouth sort of stuff, because again you're it really is trying to bring in enough people to be sustainable first off, and then be, get to that point where more and more people come because they hear, oh, they offer this free-ish product or whatever. Because again, we're coming to a point where it feels like they're charging us. Like I remember, just to kind of go along with that, I remember when reading the paper, like it was like BMW was going to charge you for like having heated seats, or give you a monthly
Oh,
subscription for heated seats, or I think it was actually recently where even Tesla has changed their FSD into like a monthly or a yearly sort of thing. And I mean, where does it end at that point? And I think people are going to get very surprised if it continues on. So, but it is,
and it's a funny thing too because it already kind of got rejected in the gamer world
yeah,
because it's like, no, I bought a game, I own the game. I'm not buying something that needs to be. We don't like having to buy a game and then
mm,
you got to download 10 gigs to update it in order to play it,
ugh,
or the microtransaction nonsense.
yeah,
Nobody actually likes that. So I think they've got a few years of people putting up with subscription as a service for most things, and then I think people will want to walk away. Like my
yeah,
daughter's generation, she's very unplugged.
yeah,
Like she's got her iPhone, she'll watch, she'll put YouTube on for the baby, for
yeah,
YouTube Kids, whatnot. But other than that, it's like she's adamant about reducing screen time
mm,
herself, for her daughter, not plugged into all this influencer culture nonsense. Um, yeah, so I think Gen Z, a lot of Gen Z,
mm.
and probably the generation after that, are going to be like unplugging.
Yeah. It'll certainly be interesting as time goes forward, because there's other stuff too, like drinking less and all that sort of
Yep,
stuff. I've heard that too.
that's a big one too.
Yeah, which is an interesting notion. But at the end of the day, it's certainly going to be, um, yeah, technology wise, it's certainly going to be interesting to see where things go, especially on a corporate level. But it also is a reminder, like there are open source stuff out there. You don't have to be stuck to what's paid for. So go out there and give it a look. It does only require some patience and a little know-how, and you might find something that will benefit you greatly, like um, Clip Studio or some of the other free ones out there as well. Because I don't think, I don't, I don't, I don't think there's, at least right now, I don't think there's an artist out there who's like, man, you know what? I want to keep paying for this product. I'm pretty sure, like, Lord, please, please send me something that's free. I can't afford it.
Yeah,
Oh goodness.
I
But
don't know.
anyway, oh yeah, no. I look, I've seen enough out there to know that sooner or later someone's gonna be like, I just want something free, and you're gonna be like, well, here you go, here's the link for that. Which is what you would do for most things. But anyway, it is the top of the hour again. And as core, of course, we're gonna do what we did before, but we're gonna start winding down after that. Because it is getting to that point in time, and I do have to get up in the morning, so I have to start getting going. But we will get through our stuff first, and then we will fly off to the moonlight or sunset, wherever you are in the world, because it's still cold where I am. But anyway, first things first, of course, is for my wonderful guest, the Dino Man. The floor is yours, good sir.
Follow me at Dreaded Dinosaur on X, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook if you want, although I almost never check Facebook. Please read Dinosaur Man. It's on my link tree. You can connect to the webtoon there. And check out Daughter's Revenge. It's the top link on my link tree. Available for Represent. We're selling it through the end of this month.
Nice.
And it's already at the printer. I will be doing a live appearance in MegaCon Orlando, signing books with Jay and Russ, and the whole gang will be there. It'll be a lot of fun, and hope to see you down there if you can make it. I have a few other appearances. I'm not sure they're all in concrete yet, but
Right.
we're going to try to tour the book as much as we can this year. And I just can't wait to hold it in my hands. It looks great going to the printer, so I just can't wait. It never gets old. I've done several books,
Yeah.
and holding it in your hand, the first new copy of something just never gets old. It's such a wonderful feeling. So thank you very much for having me, and
All right, glad to
very
have
much
you.
for follow people.
Oh yeah, it's like that fresh new car smell. You just
Oh yeah.
Then after a while, people get in. It's like, oh, guys, I can't like this. But no, DinoMan's link tree is right there. All his links are in there, so you can go either on the Rumble side or YouTube side, and you will see that link tree there. Because I do, promoting for my guests and stuff. So give him a look, and if he's worth the follow, why not? But he certainly is a great, well, I don't want to say workaholic, but he certainly has a great work ethic. Workaholic can be determined if he's like too busy to even talk to you. Then he's a workaholic.
Finding a balance is an art form, that's for sure.
That is true. Just don't hurt yourself on the way there. But again, they'll be both in the Rumble side and YouTube side, so give it a look and all that good stuff. Okay, that's good. For my almost pressed the wrong thing. For my end of things, it's always one of those things. You wrong click or you press the wrong key. And you're like, oh man, I've had that a few times where I was writing something and I deleted it all. I'm like, I got it back though. I pressed undo. I got it back. So there's that. But moving on. For my end of things, whether you're on the Rumble side or YouTube side, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like, sharing the content, leaving a comment or follow, anything that helps, that engagement factor is much appreciated, because not only does it help in being seen more, like all content creators want to be, it also helps in having other people on, like Dinosaur Man, like Slidey Pine in the chat, like so many other people. Again, over 300 various guests, and the ladder is climbing. And of course, I'm always appreciative for those who say yes, because there's always something to talk about, and you'll get surprised by what you'll hear, especially from yourself, which is always a surprising part. I don't remember that from ages. How the heck? But here's my link as well. You can go find my Twitter X, my email. I have a link to Discord, but it's just for DMing. I don't have a server, don't ask. But also my Rumble and YouTube link in there as well. So if you want to give it a look for there, that is much appreciated. And of course, quickly going through my things that I promote, and then we'll start flying off in those few last things. I promote Proton on a daily basis, or when I do my stream, because I am a Proton partner program. With this link, you can get 2 free weeks on any of their products. But after that is up to you. I use Proton on a daily basis because it's a privacy-oriented company. Again, internet, not 100% security or privacy, but certainly a great product to try. We both try it, we both use it, and certainly have had no issues with it yet. So great to promote. And again, looking is free. Taking up beyond that is a different story. So thank you for that. And of course, the last thing I promote is biltong. Biltong is a South African treat. It's tasty, at least from my end, but I tried taking it to a family event and Manny did not like it. So let's just say there's a variation. But you can go to the website. They sell more than biltong. They sell like jams, crisp or chips, just a whole bunch of stuff from the UK, some stuff from South Africa. It's just this huge swath of stuff. So if you want to give it a look, link is right there. And if you do buy something from it, you can use code DARA to save 10%. Now, isn't that awesome? It's not 0%. it's 10%, and 10% is better than 0. So there you go for that. Thank you all for that very much. And of course, the last few things. One is tomorrow. Oh, there we go. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, I have on Tyler Today's News. So looking forward to that, getting to talk to him about whatever. But also the last thing I do with my guests before we ride off in the sunset like the Indiana Jones movie is something I like to call questions from a hat. Now I bought a hat from Rumble. I put some questions inside it. So what happens, DinoMan, is my guest, you, get 2 freebie questions. Now, obviously, I do stream to YouTube, but I'm not monetized. So sorry, YouTube side, but that's how it goes. But if you're on the Rumble side, guess what? If you want more than the 2 questions, pull the hat. You can pay a Rumble rant, doesn't matter the amount, and get another question. So are you ready, good sir?
I am ready. Let's do it.
All right. I am putting my hands into the hat and I am trying to find a very magical question. Let's see. Question number 1 is right here. Let's see what it says. If I can get past the post-it stickiness. Here's a good one. What does freedom of speech mean to you?
Freedom of speech to me is the ability to speak your mind without repercussions.
Easy, simple. I could stick that on a sticker and we're gonna call it Christmas, all right? Yeah, that's copyrighted. Don't do that. No, I'm just joking. All right, question number 2, and this will be the last one unless someone gives a rumble rant. Let's see what we got. Oh, that was a twofer. All right, here we go. Question number 2, right there. Let's see what it says. Oh, here we go. What is the greatest risk you have ever taken?
Well, okay. So one of the things that I'm known for is wrestling artwork. Oddly enough, it's been a long time doing pro wrestling as classic comic book covers. So I made a name for myself in that. So I'm in Las Vegas at a wrestling convention called Starcast.
Okay.
And my plane doesn't leave for another day, but the hotel I was provided by left me homeless. So I'm on my Priceline app or hotels, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I found the cheapest thing I could. It was at a resort. This was for a Monday, I think, Sunday night and a Monday. And I go there and I buy it. I go there. I'm like, seems like they haven't cleaned this place up a lot. There was towels around the hot tub and whatnot. I was sore, so I got in it anyway. I'm like, whatever. This is a clean establishment, I guess.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I go to go eat lunch, and the guy was telling me, yeah, we had like this swingers convention. And I got home, and I started getting sick. And a week later, I was in the hospital with septic with pneumonia. Came pretty close to maybe not making it. So yeah, that was the big.
Jeez.
Going to that hotel was definitely the biggest risk I'd ever taken. And I'm glad I survived it, but that's a horror story.
Well, you know what? You got pneumonia and sepsis. You could have just found some scrumpled up panties. That would have been the worst thing ever. Okay. Jeez. Wow. Wow. Well,
Yeah.
you sir have won the I took the greatest risk award. And the greatest risk of that award is that you get no award because that's a great risk. So, but wow, yeah, that's always check your hotels if you can. But yeah, that sucks though. That they only provided you up till that point. You're like, well, guys, looks like Daddy's going homeless for a while. But yeah, that just sucks. But ugh.
I'd have been so much better off sleeping at the airport on the floor.
Oh, at least someone would have come up and cleaned up after people. The worst thing, at least for hotels that I think people don't understand is always check for bed bugs.
Mm-hmm.
Always check for bed bugs. Look, listen, I don't know if any of you have experienced bed bugs, but let me tell you this. They are harder to get rid of. Oh, they are harder to get rid of than roaches. All right. How I know this is my experience was that I was living in a house. I was renting out a room, and you see this like you. Well, first off, it started with like red bumps on my feet. Like I didn't know what was going on or whatever because they usually feed on your feet and whatnot. It's like, oh, okay. And then all of a sudden, I started seeing this bug that I've never seen before. I'm like, okay. I started doing a little research on the internet. It's called the bed bug. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, you start going through research. Look, I was looking up natural defenses for this. I was looking up DE. I was looking up essential oils. At a certain point, I was up some nights with a bottle of rubbing alcohol, just waiting for those suckers to come out and just spray them, and it would work. But it's not a fun time. There were many times I was at that laundromat, hot water, high heat. Oof, it's the only way to get those things healed. So always make sure before you enter your room with yourself, check your beds.
Yeah.
Check your beds. Because you do not want to be taking those people home. But anyway, that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the show. Okay. Thank you all so much for those who came to watch, whether on the YouTube or Rumble side. Doesn't matter which side you came on. I'm always grateful for people who comment. Of course, a big thank you to the man himself, the DinoMan. I feel like I should get out my guitar and just riff that. Just DinoMan! Wow, 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 wow. That'll just be your intro. Yeah, whatever show you do, you'll just be like, DinoMan! It's like, where's that coming from? So, but anyway, but thank you so much, and I appreciate you giving me your time and stuff. And like I always tell my guests, like you're always welcome to come back because there's always more to talk about. Listen, we went through a lot today. All right, don't know if you noticed, but we went through a lot, and there's always more to go through.
Good conversation.
Oh yeah, I will say I try my best, but I'm always grateful for that because it means there's always more times for doing more of it. So thank you so much, good sir. And of course, check out his link tree for his new comic that's out on the presses right now. They're so hot and fresh. When they come off the press, they'll smell like fresh ink. Just they may, if you take it outside, you may see a little steam too. So there's that too. But regardless, again, tomorrow 7 p.m. Eastern with Tyler Today's News, and those links will be put out tonight because I do try to get things out the day before. But we're beyond that. I end the show with I gotta find it now. There we go. I end the show with a music video called "One Day with You" by Pogo, who's the artist. There's a link down in the description below of all his other stuff. Some of it I use, so if you want to check it out, you can go right there. But beyond that, it's called "One Day with You" by Pogo. Have a great rest of your night, everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye.